In the thriving village of Okuta, there lived a girl named Adan. From childhood, her beauty had been spoken of like a legend. Her face was like the morning sun, her skin smooth as palm oil, her voice sweet as flute music. But her true crown was her hair. Long, thick, and glossy, it fell down her back like a river of midnight silk. It shimmered when she moved, swaying like it carried a life of its own. Some said the gods had blessed her. Others whispered that no mortal girl deserved hair so beautiful. Adan was not just beautiful, she was intelligent. She spoke with wisdom that surprised the elders, and she excelled in every task she touched: farming, weaving, storytelling. The young men of Okuta flocked around her, and the maidens often found themselves compared to her, which stung their pride. Her friends, Obiajili, Uju, and Amorochi, smiled in her presence but carried knives of envy in their hearts. They hated how men ignored them, hated how villagers praised Adan's hair and wit, hated how even elders consulted her on matters. And in their envy, they began to plot. One evening, when the sky burned orange with sunset, the three friends lured Adan into the bush path. "Adan," Uju said with a forced smile, "there is a festival coming. Let us prepare together. We want to surprise you." Adan, trusting them, followed without suspicion. But in the clearing of the forest, their faces turned cold. From behind a tree, Obiajili pulled out a blade, its edge glinting. Amorochi grabbed Adan's hands, Uju covered her mouth, and Obiajili yanked her hair back. "No more will men chase after you," Obiajili hissed. With one cruel swipe, the blade hacked into her glorious hair. Strands fell like dark rain, scattering across the forest floor. Adan struggled, tears streaming, her cries muffled against Uju's palm. They hacked until her long, thick hair was reduced to rough, uneven patches. Humiliated, shivering, and broken, Adan begged them to stop. But their envy was not satisfied. "If you leave, your beauty will still shine," Amorochi whispered darkly. "Better you leave this world." Together, they tied a rope around her neck and dragged her to a low-hanging branch. Adan fought, her legs kicking, her mouth open in a final, strangled cry. Her body dangled, swaying against the moonlight. And so they left her, lifeless, her once glorious hair scattered on the ground like offerings to the dark. The villagers believed Adan had taken her own life. They buried her quietly, whispering that perhaps her pride in her beauty had weighed too heavily. But 3 nights later, Obiajili was awoken by a sound, soft, dragging, like something being pulled across the floor. She lit her oil lamp. From the corner of the room, a shadow moved. A long rope of hair slithered across the ground, curling up her bedpost like a snake. At the end of it, a face emerged, pale, broken-necked, eyes bulging, hair flowing endlessly. "Obiajili," the voice was a wet whisper. "Why did you cut me down before my time?" The hair lashed forward, coiling around her neck. Obiajili screamed, thrashing, but the hair lifted her off the bed and dangled her in the air. By morning, she was found hanging, her lifeless body swaying in the breeze, strangled by a noose of black hair. The villagers trembled. They whispered of evil spirits, but none dared speak Adan's name. On the second night, it was Uju. She was fetching water when she saw hair drifting on the surface of the calabash, long and wet. She tried to shake it off, but the hair clung to her hands. It tightened, slithering up her arms, binding her like ropes. She screamed and stumbled back, but the water calabash tipped, spilling, and from the puddle rose Adan's spirit. Her broken neck lolled to one side, her eyes glowed with fury, her hair moving like living serpents. "You laughed when I begged for mercy," the ghost hissed. The hair coiled around Uju's legs, her waist, her throat. She was dragged screaming into the darkness. By morning, she was discovered dangling from a tree by strands of black hair, her tongue lolling, her eyes wide in terror. The village now buzzed with fear. Mothers forbade their daughters from walking alone. Men whispered of a curse, saying the forest itself had turned against them. Only Amorochi remained. She could not eat, could not sleep. Every sound of the wind through palm leaves sounded like hair brushing against her ears. Every ripple in water looked like strands rising from beneath. She fled to the shrine, falling before the village priest. "Save me! Save me!" Adan will kill me next, she wailed. The priest's eyes widened. Adan. The girl who died. What do you know? And under the weight of her terror, Amarachi confessed it all, the envy, the shaving, the hanging. The villagers gasped, horrified, realizing the truth. But even confession could not save her. That very night, as the villagers gathered to cleanse the land with rituals, Amarachi was found dangling at the edge of the clearing, suspended by a thick, black rope of hair. Her eyes bulged with horror, her mouth. The deaths of the 3 girls spread dread across Okuta. The villagers poured libations, sacrificed goats, and begged Adan's spirit to rest. Yet, some swore they still saw her. A girl with uneven, hacked hair walking by the river at night. A rope of black hair swinging from trees even when no one had climbed them. A whisper carried on the wind, envy cuts deep, but it cuts back harder. No girl in Okuta dared boast of beauty again. And whenever jealousy crept into friendships, mothers would whisper the warning. Remember Adan. Envy killed her, but her hair never died. Beware, lest her strands find your throat.